Sir Rick, Drive Safe Dave, and we're lucky to have with us Brian Bruckner. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great.
Well, you know what? We are lucky. I'm telling you, we're honored to have you here because we love having people that, and this isn't hard, that know more about, the industry than we do. We can make a lot of it up. Yeah. We're pretty good on the fly.
I'm very good at, rolling with it. I can roll with it, but it's always nice to have the expert, always nice to have the person that knows exactly what's going on.
And so, Brian, do me a favor. Tell our audience a little bit about, tell us who you are, right?
Sure.
Tell us, just start there, who you are and a little bit of your history of Bruckner Truck.
Well, my name is Brian Bruckner. I'm president of Bruckner Trucks and Equipment. We're a Volvo truck dealer, Mack truck dealer, actually based in Amarillo, Texas. We have locations here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, one in Fort Worth and two in Dallas. My grandfather started in business, Rick. He started in Amarillo. He was Bruckner's garage. He worked on tractors and he worked on pickups and whatever you could drag in there and work on. I mean, he worked on washing machines sometimes. If he could get a washing machine in there, he was going to work on a washing machine.
That'll work.
So, it was 1932, so you had to do what it took to get it done. And from there, we first became a Mack truck dealer in 1948. So we're the oldest Mack dealer west of the Mississippi.
Okay.
And that's kind of a cool claim.
That is. That's cool.
We're the oldest Mack dealer west of the Mississippi,
and best.
And best. Absolute best. Yeah, number one. And we became a Volvo dealer in the year 2001. So we've been a Volvo dealer for about 20 years now, a little over 20 years, and that was a huge move for us. That opened up a big market for us to be able to work with guys like you and your company and learn more about the over-the-road business. That was a little foreign to us as a Mack dealer. We didn't.
Yeah, right.
We like dump trucks and track trucks and.
What do you mean over-the-road?
Water trucks, work trucks, off-the-road trucks, and not really on-the-road trucks, but off-road trucks.
And then we started working with over-the-road guys more, and that blew our minds. I mean, I'm telling you,
we're a different group of people.
We thought we knew about trucking until we got going with you guys, and it's like wow.
Because we all think we know a little bit about trucking, right? We all think we're the best. We're the only ways to do it like this. So you started in Amarillo with the one dealership. Today, how many are you up to?
We have 24 dealerships in 7 states. So
awesome.
We've grown a little bit since then, and we have 38 rooftops around the country.
That is cool, man. I love to hear those stories of the entrepreneurship, right? Taking that business. And so here you are today, 28. And I want to talk a little bit about the market. We talked about, some of the shipping things, all of the freight that's just crazy. And if you're out there right now, if you're watching this show and you're looking for a truck, hey, talk to us about that inventory across this country right now with trucks.
Yeah. This has got to be the craziest market I've ever seen in my career. You think back to March, April timeframe of last year, and tons of uncertainty on the marketplace, and the truck sales they went off a cliff. I mean, it just went straight to the bottom. And but it was you talk about a V-shaped recovery. That was the V-shaped recovery. I mean, it hit bottom, and then all of a sudden we're headed back up, and suppliers didn't plan for that adequately. I don't think the manufacturers understood or planned for that well. None of us. I remember at that point we were trying to push out inventory. We were like, man, we got too many trucks. We got to get rid of these trucks. And then once it headed back up, when we look at the whole industry, you can see where the industry has just been trying to get back ahead of that demand. And it's like you were talking earlier with freight and all the freight that's sitting off the port in Long Beach. It's like you can't get back ahead of it.
Yeah.
It's out there so far that everybody's trying to get back ahead of that market.
Yeah, and I don't know how we get ahead of that market. I mean, let's face it, you talk about what happened, and we saw the same thing in the freight industry. Freight went down, the rates went down, everything was going down, and none of us really knew, and I guess we all could have made a lot of money if we could kind of see in the future, right? It was a pandemic. I mean, we had never gone through that pandemic. I know. First time ever we'd gone through something like that, and I can remember, I mean, you think about it, and again, one big problem we have in the industries regarding the trucks are the chip shortages, right? But we quit ordering the cars, right? We put them on order because nobody's going to buy a car. Nobody's going to buy a truck. Why order chips? And here we go. All of a sudden, for whatever reason, we can go in different ways with this. All of a sudden, people start having more money they've ever had before and not even have to go to work for it. And they start spending money. Start spending money. But
and I think they've gotten used to spending it too. Not only did they have it, but they found new ways to spend it and new ways to go out there and spend the money that they have.
Yeah. And, we're in a, situation now where, lead times continue to get further and further out. We work and plan, of course, work with you, Rick, and try to plan those orders to make sure we've got adequate equipment coming in. But you look at our lot, you go see our lot, and there's not a lot of inventory parked there. And guys come in, they're looking for trucks, and we're scrambling, trying to find them something. And
showing them pages?
Yeah,
or you got
pictures.
A picture?
We got pictures.
Here's a catalog. you can flip through that. We'll get you one order.
Yeah.
Can't really drive one today, but you know what? We can flip through.
So we're selling out trucks, basically a year from now. So right now we're talking to people about trucks that we're going to have for them in a year.
So parts in general, outside of the chips, are we seeing a shortage of that as well?
Sure. Yeah, and it's spotty. I mean, there's some things that we have plenty of. I looked at our inventory this morning. We had $32 million worth of parts inventory. So we got lots of parts inventory. But
they're like, sell it.
Yeah.
Sell it.
It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine.
Yeah. But there's those things that, are demand. Depth sensors, depth level sensors. I mean, those things, our guys are on the phone every day. Everybody they know, they're calling, trying to find those depth level sensors. And so there's those kind of, you're talking about your tonic water. I mean, it's those shortages that we run into, and we're seats.
Wow.
You got to sit down.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to sit down.
Key,
That's
right?
pretty important. It's hard to stand and drive.
Yeah. You got to go. Maybe you have to pull that pillow off when you get up in the morning and strap that to your seat and sit on it. But seats are a struggle today, and so we hit those shortages and we start scrambling, trying to find those parts to fulfill, take care of people, make sure they can keep running their truck.
And a lot of these parts too that I don't think a lot of people recognize or realize is that a lot of these parts do come from China, and a lot of these parts understand that many companies now are having to pay a huge surcharge just to get it on the ship. Right? A $15,000 surcharge happens all the time, especially in the automotive industry, only to sit out there at the ocean.
And I look at the seat deal, and I think about it a minute, and tell me if I'm wrong, but guys are wanting to put even older trucks back on the road, and
Absolutely.
One of the things that they go in and they go, you know what, everything here I can work with, but I need a new chair. If I'm gonna put that truck back on the road, I'm actually gonna sit in something a little bit nicer. So I see that even you bring in older trucks, right? Even used truck sales is up, right? The whole market is just crazy.
Yeah, the demand for used trucks, similar to new trucks, is the highest we've ever seen. I mean, literally, we buy a truck today, we go clean it up, it sells tomorrow. It's that kind of turn in inventory.
So let's just go this way. So if you're thinking about exiting and you're an independent contractor, you're an owner operator, and you're thinking about getting out of this business, it's time to retire. It's a great time to sell. If you're thinking about trading it in, you know what? You may have to think again, right? Because when are you going to get that truck? If one of our listeners said, you know what? I'm ready to make a trade and get a truck. How long is that wait time? Do we have a general idea?
We're right now they've actually closed the order board, and so they've gotten so many orders in, and it's not just Volvo.
That's everybody.
It's everybody. Absolutely.
And so we have a supply of trucks coming in over the next year, and we plan for that. We've ordered stock and we've ordered trucks for customers, but it would be at least a year, maybe 14, 16 months to get a new truck.
That's unbelievable.
So I know it's always been hard, I think, in our industry, and probably the same with yours, to really get a good idea, a good feel about next year. But I think next year is already done. I just meaning that the freight's already been ordered, the products already been, trucks have already been ordered. So next year I think we're gonna continue to see a lot of what we're seeing right now. What about 2023, or when does what from the truck side, right, from the dealership side, when do you see this breaking up at all? Is it just too far out there right now?
Yeah, and of course, we try to forecast and understand, where the market is headed. And I kept saying, well, 22 is going to be better. It's going to get better in 22. It's got to get better in 22.
Because 21
I
wasn't
mean,
right. Yeah, got it.
And so, 21 was, it was tough, and 22's got to get better. And I suspect as we get into third and fourth quarter of 22 that we'll start to see, the market stabilize and begin to solidify a little bit. And 2023 should be a more normal year. I think.
You calling it here first? You heard it here first. It right here first. Is that
2023 is going to be a more normal year.
But I think we all kind of feel that 2023 is going to be the year that things start to normalize. Whatever again
We've got
that
to
means,
figure it out, right? We have to.
Well,
figure
here's
it out.
one thing we do know is that in what we do here in America, we figure things out. We will figure out these bottlenecks. We'll make adjustments on it. Some things that that we can't expedite. I'll tell you this. Some people will say, "Well, now it's just throw the autonomous vehicle out." It's not ready. It's not ready there. There's a lot of technology still, a lot of updates that have to happen. Laws that have to get passed. A lot of things like that have to happen. We're not ready for that side yet, but we will figure things out. And we know that we do. Whether it's figuring out how to use the trucks a little bit different. How to, get more utilization out of a truck, utilization out of a shop, utilization of how to get these trucks in and out. I mean, let's face that, Drive Safe, Dave, and Brian, is that it's key right now when we get a truck in the shop, anybody gets a truck in the shop, well, we got to get it out. We just, that's it. And when you're short on parts, right? When there's not a lot you can do about it. So there's some frustration levels from the truck side, right? Because this is the chance that trucking companies can go out there and make that money right now.
Absolutely. And it's not just a small amount of trucks. It's every truck is on the road. And when every truck is on the road, the shops are full because they all break down. I'm going to break it to everybody out there that every truck breaks down in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They break down. And
even Volvos, every once in a while.
Not even Volvos, but they all break down, and they all need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And that's probably, and the shops are just packed. I mean, and if the road's packed with trucks, the shops are also packed.
So we've seen, I want to ask one question before we close this out, but we have all seen driver shortage. We've seen shortages everywhere, restaurants, right? McDonald's, fast food. It doesn't matter. You can't hire enough people. They're not out there to work. Are you seeing shortages even in the shop area? Are you seeing any kind of shortages on that? Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
More than normal?
I like driver shortage. We've had technician shortage for a long time. I think we haven't had enough as our technicians have gotten older and retired.
That's interesting.
We haven't replaced technicians at the rate that we need to as an industry. But we do have technician shortage.
That's interesting. Because you always just think about the truck shortage, right? Well, we haven't done a good job of making our industry, right, to encourage people to come in. We haven't done our due diligence, and we're kind of seeing a truck shortage right now, or driver shortage right now, Drive Safe. And I would say on the driver shortage, it's our fault. Why don't they want to come in here? Because of us. Why? Because we want to take 4 hours to get them unloaded. Who wants to work for free? Why? That's on us. And so I love hearing the stories, that you bring. I love hearing the struggles in our industry, and the technician. That's part of our industry, because without them, we're really screwed, right?
They're going to be in the shop not 2 days, but in the shop for a week.
Hey, Brian, do me a favor. We had Brian and I had a great opportunity to go golf at one of your events that had to do with some charity on that. Tell me something, what makes Bruckner's that special, that special dealership, the dealership of choice, in your eyes? I've seen it. I'll just tell you from a customer, it's top-notch folks from top down. Love the culture that you have in your company right there. But from your eyes, what makes Bruckner that dealer of choice?
Rick, we work really hard to partner with our customers and find solutions to difficult problems. I mean, trucking, we've got a lot of difficult problems to take care of, and as an organization, we see that as our mission, our goal to take care of those difficult problems and not to walk away from them, but face them head on and make sure that we're working through to take care of those customers. Make sure that we're a great partner. We want our customers to be successful. We want to see trucking companies like BCB. We want more trucking companies like BCB that are they're growing their business and building a culture, building a company, and that's where we see great success. I tell you, I learned this from my dad and my granddad. I'm not that smart a guy, but we, for us, our people are our greatest asset. And so I know a lot of people talk about that, and that's, kind of a buzzword for a lot of businesses. But, we know and understand that if we don't have a lot of great people working hard every day, that we can't take care of you. We can't take care of your business. We've got to make sure that our people are up and ready to go every day to take care of you.
That's awesome, man. So here we go now. So oftentimes we may sign out, but producer here we go, Brian. We have a couple questions coming in, so get ready. Hey, if it's an uncomfortable, we'll go to a break.
You'll let me bail out?
Who we got, Dylan?
Brian Winsauer was wondering, how important are the new safety technologies to new truck purchasers?
We see that as critical, and I think with Volvo, one of the core values of Volvo is safety.
For sure.
That's how they built their business. I mean, Volvo invented seatbelts. I mean, that's part of their culture and their identity, and more and more we even on stock trucks. You think of stock truck, a lot of times you didn't necessarily order a lot of safety equipment, but these days we order the Bendix Wingman system on most every truck that we deliver. We do a lot of lane departure systems. As you see more and more automation coming into trucks, I think that is going to have a huge effect on safety. That Volvo truck is the safest truck on the road, and we it doesn't just stay that way. I mean, you've got to continually work on new technologies. I was with the president of Volvo earlier this week, and we were talking about that and how that's a continual path. You don't just say, okay, this is a safe truck, we're going to stop there. I mean, you've got to continually be pushing those technologies and working on new technologies. I know the new steering systems that are coming out now, and we're starting to really get those introduced into the marketplace in a good way. Dynamic steering.
Dynamic steering, it's pretty impressive.
Is a great safety technology, and so we continue to push those hard to get them into the marketplace, to get people comfortable with them, help them understand what that safety means to them, what that means to their company. I mean, you guys realize how I'm telling you to drive safe. I mean,
Don't forget about me. Listen, I've gone 6 laps around the track, and I can tell you that dynamic steering comes into play. 6 laps under my belt. It was a lifesaver, and boy, I felt better, everything about it.
You felt comforted, right? It was like a seatbelt wrapped around you, right?
Producer, we got one more.
Yeah, Curtis Benedict, what do you got for us
Morning,
today,
Curtis.
sir?
What's going on, Curtis?
Hey, good morning, guys. Just a real quick question. Do you see Volvo following the other companies with the digital dashboards and getting away from the analog stuff?
Yeah, I am. And I'm not a great technical product guy. I'm going to admit that right now. That I don't know of all the new technology that's coming, but it's we see more and more digitalization of the dash and and all the equipment in the truck. That that whole backbone that everything runs on is digital, and so it only makes sense that as they move and develop, I think Volvo has invested more of their current research budget in safety technology and in engine, in the operation of those engines for the best fuel economy, and that's where they've had their greatest investments right now. I know as we get into the next generations of trucks that we will see more of that digital dash that you see in some of the other competitor trucks.
That's good stuff, and we love it. We love the safety functionalities of the Volvo. We love the Bruckner relationship, and and what you all stand for inside the industry and even outside when you're doing your charity events and everything. Hey, Brian, thank you for being part of our show. You're part of now the safest station in the nation. I want to make sure you know that. How does it feel? Does it make you feel a little better?
Feel fantastic.
I like it. Hey, we'll see you in about 60 seconds. This is BCB Live, and we are the safest station in the nation.